Most of us were raised in religious environments with minimal religious practices, and appearances at sacred spaces like churches, temples, or mosques were occasional. We were encouraged to believe simply and to fear God, often warned of dire consequences for neglecting this faith. Profound questions or curiosity about religion received little attention. Other religions seemed to be non-existent or like tales from faraway countries with wrong belief systems. Mostly all efforts to have a good life are focused on survival, material security, and making a name for yourself. Many religions have always existed, and even more are present today. However, the small village in northern Germany where I grew up, with only 100 inhabitants, was a good place to cultivate ignorance about the outside world. Almost everyone is born into some kind of religion or belief system, but exposure to diversity was very limited in such a secluded environment. Why should we question the religion we are born into? Religion often shapes our fundamental values and serves as a beneficial starting point for discovering our real nature as humans in this world. There is no such thing as a bad religion. In my village, religion, with its focus on the non-material world, did not have the main attention in daily life. Instead, the material world was of utmost importance. Opportunities to engage with people of other religions arose only through travel, education, and commercial interactions. When we look back into history, it is the search for material wealth that enabled interactions between different religions. One of the earliest examples is the Persian Empire in 500 BCE, where trade among people of diverse faith fostered dialogues and interfaith connections between the merchants along the famous Silk Road. Without respect and communication among merchants of different religions, it would not have been possible to coexist and conduct business. Later in medieval times, during the Islamic Golden Age, cities like Baghdad, Cordoba, and Cairo became models of interfaith coexistence. Muslims, Jews, and Christians lived and worked together in an atmosphere of mutual respect, contributing to shared prosperity. Although there were instances of hatred and violence, these were rare and often driven by political or material motives. In the long run, such peaceful coexistence benefited all members of these interfaith communities. Even the Crusades, despite their violence and conflict, indirectly fostered cultural and intellectual exchanges between Christians and the Islamic world. The awareness of these benefits emerged much later, highlighted by an important event in the USA in 1893, the World's Parliament of Religions in Chicago. This gathering brought leaders from Eastern and Western spiritual traditions together, fostering dialogue and a new understanding of shared values and commonalities across belief systems. In the 20th century, interfaith interactions gained momentum through events like the World Congress of Faith in 1936 and the founding of the World Council of Churches in 1948. The Vatican also underwent significant change, re-evaluating its approach to other religions during the Second Vatican Council between 1962 and 1965. These developments marked a growing recognition of the importance of dialogue and collaboration between faiths, leading to deeper respect and shared understanding across religious traditions.
I think it's very special time for me. I will go and just walk all together to visit there.
Many interfaith organizations have been established with the purpose of dialogue and cooperation among different religions. The violent events such as 9/11 in New York have further emphasized the importance of interfaith dialogue as a means to promote peace and understanding. Grassroots initiatives are blossoming worldwide, driven by a shared desire for social justice and environmental protection. The Internet has become a vital platform for these dialogues. In the academic world, many programs and interfaith studies are growing.
Yeah, it was so good also for us now to walk from the masjid to the Lutheran church, no? So it seems like we are really one brothers and sisters. We are in the same family, no?
These advancements are promising and inspiring. But let us not forget that these developments of positive interfaith activities have emerged out of immense suffering. Religious extremism, fundamentalism, political conflicts framed with the religious arguments, and theological disputes over exclusive truth claims have caused significant conflicts throughout history and continue to do so today. The progress in interfaith activities is in many ways a response to these challenges, offering a path toward healing and mutual understanding.
We have the statue of Guan Yin over there. Guan Yin? Guan Yin. She is the goddess spirit. Chinese. In Chinese tradition, she is the compassion. Avalokiteshvara in the
male.
And she just look like Mary. Some statue of Guan Yin, you look at her, she just looks like Mary. In Shanghai, there is a statue of her holding a baby like.
In my humble opinion, there are two sides of the coin of interfaith interaction. On one side, communication, trade, and living in interfaith communities create peace and wealth. They allow people to worship meaningfully within their own traditions, while creating opportunities to deepen our understanding of the human condition through the wisdom shared by different belief systems. This interaction becomes a foundation for peace and prosperous life, leading to a more loving, kind, and harmonious world. On the other side, we witness terrible conflicts driven by violence, injustice, greed, and hate, often justified in the name of religion. Do you think this is what the prophets envisioned for humanity? The root cause of such destructive behavior lies in the absence of communication and the ignorance related to religions beyond your own. What purpose does it serve to insist on being more right about everything than those who believe differently? Instead of listening with kindness, love, and willingness to learn from each other, there is a poison of feeling entitled to judge those with different beliefs.
So putting in this way means for the respect?
Yeah, that's for the respect only, yeah. You must have seen most of these Sikhs, they wear the turban. Now this is a respect what we are giving to the Holy Scripture. Now a question rises, why should we keep swords? At that time there were a lot of conflicts between Hindus, Islam or Christian also. So you have to defend yourself.
This judgment creates a barrier, filtering perceptions through rejection rather than openness. By taking a defensive stance and dismissing the expression and practice of others, we lose the chance to engage in meaningful dialogue and to embrace the shared humanity that lies beneath our differences.
And Guru Nanak Dev Ji, he emphasized right from the first Guru to the 10th Prophet that equality is there. Whether you are man, you are a lady or you are gents, equality has to be there.
As John Lennon and Yoko Ono famously said, give peace a chance. The world has the potential to become a better, more peaceful place. But it requires our willingness to respect and love all of humanity. If we achieve peace by embracing and respecting all forms of worship, we perform a great service to humanity.
And in the Christian Orthodox, we teach the first thing important is we need to fight about peace from heaven and make love on the world. For me, I think I need to learn from you so more. Thank you very much, ครับ Thank you very much, ครับ
Interfaith dialogue and understanding may be the key ingredient to achieve peace.
The shining spark of truth comes from the clash of differing opinions, but it's not the people clashing, it's the ideas.
It is not religion alone that connects us to the divine. We are already deeply spiritual beings. The divine source that created us is unified, eternal, and omnipresent love. I urge you to be open-minded and willing to express love to all your fellow humans, regardless of their beliefs. Engage with and respect those who seem different, and you may find that this openness leads to unexpected happiness. By serving others with loving kindness, you might catch a glimpse of the One, the ultimate truth underlying all human existence. Let go of the limiting belief that only your religion holds the ultimate truth. We are one. Unity is and has always been the foundation of all creation. Recognize that one divine source has inspired all religions, and strive to see beyond the institutions. To remember your divine nature, there is no need to defend rigid mental constructs. Instead, let us practice religions that unite rather than divide. Finally, it is up to you and me to create together a future of peace and understanding. It is time. Let us embrace the daily practice of loving kindness. Recognize your duty to create a world that allows everyone to worship as pleased. We are responsible to create together a space for all living beings based on the highest human values: love and peace. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.